I'm Mahassin Quadri. I'm a lawyer by profession. I'm also an entrepreneur and a tech founder. I founded a mobile app called CashMadam that helps informal businesses manage their finances. I also run a website called the Tech Tiger that curates tech news. And under the Tech Tiger, I run the Coin Talk, which is a panel discussion, like a webinar, focused on discussing topical issues around blockchain, cryptocurrency, and basically the world of decentralized systems and distributed systems.
Nice.
So that's me.
Wow, you do it a lot.
Well,
how do you keep up with everything that you're doing?
Well, I don't really think it's a lot. I should be doing a lot more, and I am doing a lot more. I just didn't want to say everything. But I keep up because I'm in my place. I find it very interesting and exciting, and it's where my passion lies. So it's very easy for me to keep up. I can literally not stay asleep sometimes because I wake up in the middle of the night and I just, oh God, I have stuff to do, you know, I have information to share, I have places to go. So it's where my passion lies. So it's easy for me to keep up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's get to our first question. And I think this is a great segue into the first question. How do you see blockchain? Well, first, why did you get into this space? Like, what was it about the blockchain cryptocurrency space that made you interested?
Well, I'm an Aquarian, and if you know Aquarians, then you know that we like, we're like the free folk, the free folk, if you know about Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We like freedom, we like a less restricted lifestyle. For me, when I came across cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, the idea of it, that you could do whatever you wanted on the internet. You could buy, you could sell, you could do business. The idea of it was just so enticing for me. The idea that I could have more freedom, I could live a more transparent, a more wealthy life through blockchain, through cryptocurrencies, through all the things that the blockchain brings you, through the ideas and the possibilities that decentralized and distributed systems bring you, was very alluring. That's the minute I heard about it, I bought into it immediately. I was in awe, and I just wanted to know everything about it. It made so much sense to me. The idea that we could loosen ourselves from the stronghold of governmental and political pressure and control, and live and be more effective in our goals of overcoming things like poverty and illiteracy and all the other negative things that hold us back in this world. The idea of it, that the blockchain, that this system could do all that for us, for me, was just everything. So that's what it means to me. And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Awesome. So what year did you get into blockchain and cryptocurrency?
I first heard about blockchain and cryptocurrency in 2016. Okay. I used to work in an incubator called CC Hub, Co-Creation Hub in Lagos. And one day, the guys from an exchange called Luno came by, and they were basically offering us opportunity to get on board. They gave us free cryptocurrency. They told us about the exchange and how we could use it to generate wealth and to invest. And I thought it was very interesting. So I took my time. I studied the products. I studied blockchain. I studied cryptocurrencies. I got to know it. And a few months later, I put in my first investment in Bitcoin. And I wasn't skeptical. I wasn't just very clear. It was still very blurry to me. I understood it. I liked the idea of it, but it was blurry to me. So I just put in a bit of money and then I just went to sleep. And then one day, I just remembered that, wait, what about that money that you put into that exchange wallet? So I went there and I looked at it, and it had multiplied sixfold. And that was my boom. That was my eureka moment. I was like, yes, I found it.
That's a great surprise.
Yeah, I was so excited that I went to WhatsApp group where my classmates from university are. And I'm like, guys, you need to learn about this stuff. And I set up classes and I started teaching people right, left, and center, begging them to come. Let me teach them about cryptocurrencies and the blockchain. I was literally begging people. For 3 years, I was teaching people about blockchain and cryptocurrency for free.
Nice.
Begging them, come, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to make money.
Yeah. And I feel like cryptocurrency is like one of those, fables or old tales where they say, if you like teach a man,
legend.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, when people latch on, then they realize, and it does take a while for a lot of people to get it, right? And sometimes they just need to see that monetary value to really get it. But once they get it, it's like, wow, it's amazing how much it could change people's lives. And so one of my other question is, what does blockchain mean to you?
It means transparency, a more transparent life. It means a wealthier existence, because you can make money without having to do so much as you have to do right now. It also means freedom. Those are the 3 things that it means to me. Freedom, wealth, increased wealth, easier wealth, more meaningful wealth, and transparency. It also means less harm, because you can operate within the cryptocurrency or the blockchain industry without and live a greener life. These are things that it means to me. It means an exponentially better life than what we're living today. It also means that I can realistically and freely pursue some of my dreams, like my dream to do my part to end poverty for everybody. I believe and I dream that we can end poverty, that mankind can end poverty. And I believe that the blockchain can help us do that. I'll give you a typical example. Elections. The use of the blockchain can help us have more transparent elections. And if elections are more transparent, it means that the people who go into politics or who pursue positions of power have to do more to be able to win. They won't be able to lie or cheat or steal their way in. They won't be able to steal ballot boxes. They won't be able to intimidate or oppress voters or deprive them of their voting rights. The blockchain means more transparency in those things that matter the most. In government, when it comes to government contracts, the blockchain would mean a more transparent process of giving out these contracts, of putting money into these contracts, of deciding who gets what amount to do what. And also, it means transparency in ensuring that the government, the contracts that the government gives out are actually fulfilled. It also means transparency in the education system. An education system that is where the blockchain is tied into it is one where that is merit-based. So the people who get the highest scores get the scholarships. They get to go to the best schools. They get in first. It also means that examinations are more transparent. It's no longer about who has the most amount of money. It becomes about who puts in the time and who has the academic know-how and skill, and therefore performs better. So blockchain for me represents a higher level of transparency across board. It also represents freedom. I believe that a more free system is a system where people get to have more control over their lives, over their spending. It's a system where people are able to decide how much money they want to make, what they're going to do with their money, and how far their money will go for them.
Yes.
It's a system where banks or the people who run these banks don't get to use racial lines to divide us, or use gender lines to divide us by giving a certain group of people, a certain race, a certain ethnicity, a certain gender, more benefits and privileges, or an easier way to get things like mortgages, like bank accounts, like tax breaks. So it means that the wealth will be more equally shared and more people will have financial freedom.
Those are some good lists right there. I agree with everything that you said, because I've spoken to so many different people all across this industry, this space, and everyone has some kind of value attached to the technology, right? And I think when you speak to Black women or African women, you get real social justice attachment to it. Like we have, like the value that we place on this thing is far greater than just the monetary value that everyone seeks. It's our way of life, our future. Like we're banking on this thing working and creating something that's going to benefit us and lift us up from where we currently stand. And so, I commend you for the work that you've been doing and that you're going to continue to do, especially since today is International Women's Day.
National Women's Day.
Yeah. My last question is, how do you see blockchain improving the global Black community / African diaspora?
Well, like I said before, the fact that it creates more transparency means that it can eradicate the negative impact of racism, sexism, and so many others of those isms that we've been trying to fight. Imagine a system that can help to build more accountability within law enforcement systems, for instance. If there's a department of the police force where there's a high incidence of police brutality, the blockchain can, in a transparent manner, record it and make that information available in a way that is free and fair, so that everybody who needs to be able to figure out what's going on in a particular department, find out if there is a higher incidence of police brutality, find out what their efforts towards tackling such challenges or such issues are, and how successful they've been. That would change the lives of millions of African Americans, for instance, in the US. A system of transparency that allows, I'll give you a quick example. During COVID-19, the government released okay, a lot of corporate bodies, particularly banks, came out and they made donations to the government that was specifically meant for COVID-19 relief. They were supposed to set up hospitals, get the drugs for treatments, get the equipment for treatments, and take care of medical personnel. But as far as I know, and as far as I've seen, there's no accountability for it. So there's no real determination that that money went to what it was supposed to go to. In fact, you can't even prove that money is real. All we know is that these corporations came out and said, okay, we donate this and we donate that. But with the blockchain, corporations can't say, we're going to donate this towards that. They will know that the amounts, their donation can be tracked, can be secured, and can be distributed as it was intended to be, without anybody having the ability to tweak it or remove from the money in any way. A banking system where when you put money into the bank and you say that this money is meant for the government to do X, Y, Z, is a system that can be monitored and tracked and called to account. It's a system where nobody can take the money out or shift it around. And that means that more will be done with the wealth that we have. It means that when the government creates a budget for education, that money will get into education. When the government creates a budget for health, there won't be some government official somewhere that can siphon the money and put it into his personal accounts and deprive the people who need the money of the funds. It goes without saying. It speaks for itself. Res ipsa loquita, they say.
No, you're 100% right, and I see how you have such strong faith in the technology being the bridge to ending poverty, because a lot of what you say, I mean, the blockchain was used to create Bitcoin for the simple fact that we didn't trust the financial institute. Well, Satoshi Nakamoto did not trust the financial institution. And
none of us do.
None of us, exactly. I was correct when I said we. None of us did. And here is this individual. We don't know if he's a woman. I'm going to say it's Women's International.
I have a very strong
so we're going to say
a
maybe
very strong feeling that it's a woman, because if it was a man, he would brag about it. We would know who he is by now.
Exactly. The longer it goes without them exposing themselves, the more I'm starting to think it's a woman.
It's a woman.
We're the best ones to do this.
It's a Black woman.
Thank you. Yes. So, that individual knew that we lived in a trustless society. And because of this trustless society, we're able to, they're able to control what goes on without any accountability. And accountability is really important, especially, in situations like voting. Even in the US, we recently went through, some months ago, our own election. And up until now, there are still people who don't trust that, the results was an accurate result. So that's, case number one. And, banking system, that's case number two. There's so many different industries that this technology can definitely help improve accountability, as well as the trust that the people need to have in, the different institutions. So I totally see your vision. I get how you're passionate about this ending poverty, and it's so true.
If I may add a bit more.
Yes, please.
I feel like what I really like to see in the future, when I say the future, I mean in the next 5 years, 5 years, I think anything longer than that would be too long, is a world where central bank systems are able to understand very well the blockchain and the cryptocurrency system, that they feel comfortable enough with it to be a source of encouragement and promotion for it, rather than to be stifling it. Mm-hmm. I want to see in the next 5 years a system where the politicians, even if they don't understand the blockchain and cryptocurrency, they see the benefits in it enough to be able to be more willing to work with the experts, mm-hmm. those who have the skills and the understanding and the academic knowledge of it. And as a result, every country has its own legislation, its own financial policy, mm-hmm. its own regulations around financial regulation and regulation in other areas of government, mm-hmm. Around the blockchain and cryptocurrency, so that every country is embracing the blockchain and using it in various forms to improve their systems, their mm-hmm. infrastructure, mm-hmm. and the lives of their people. That's what I want to see. I want to see this happen in 5 years. Of course, the improvement part won't happen in 5 years. That still has a bit of a long-term schedule, but the work of creating the laws, the regulation, the policies, I want to see that done in 5 years. I want to see a race, that every country is racing to get this done, mm-hmm. that the leaders at every level, from the UN level to the G8 to the Davos level, mm-hmm. that they're all having those conversations, that they're all discussing those topics. I want to see the kind of global efforts that they're putting into climate change, yes. put into put into the blockchain. Mm-hmm. I think we need it.
Oh, yes, we desperately need it. And, you know, people thought that this thing was going to be a phase, you know, that we're going through and we're going to get over it, but it's not going anywhere. And
it's not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger and better.
It's exactly. And I mean, you and I, since, you know, you've been in since 2016 and I also around that time, you know, we've seen a lot change. A lot has changed. When around 2016, you know, you had ICOs, you had people trying to get in, and it was kind of like a secret, you know, if you could get in, you got in, you know, and it was a secret, but you try to tell and shed some knowledge, but people just weren't interested. They were telling you, you know, that this is crazy, whatever, it's just a phase. But now here we are, and everybody wants to be in the blockchain, at least want to understand it. And you know, there's no choice because financial institutions are starting to latch on, and it's more than just certain countries. It's a global phenomenon now. But, you know, everybody has their own value attached to it, which is a whole different discussion. I am so happy that we had this time. I know it's late over there. I want you to be able to plug yourself. So please give people, you know, your social media information, how to contact you, maybe your website, just so if they want to reach out, they can reach out to you.
Okay, so you can find me on LinkedIn, where my name is Mahassin L. Quadri. That's MAHASSIN L.Quadri, QUADRI. That's the best place to find me. I'm always there. My website is thetechtiger.com. That's thetechtiger.com, one word. Yeah, that's basically it. That's where you can reach me. And then you can follow the Coin Talk Africa. That's the webinar that I do, specifically focused on topical issues on blockchain and cryptocurrency. You can follow us also on Twitter, where our handle is CoinTalk_Africa.